Hello there, it's me RJB from RJB TV, and today we are going into the conclusion of Rabbit against Byul. The final games of this set, right here, right now. First, let's have a look at the score. The score so far is Rabbit has 2 wins, but Byul has 5 of them in total. That's a lot of wins. This definitely looks to be in favor of Byul, but anything can still happen. We've seen comebacks greater than this happen in the past. It could go either way. So here we got Rabbit on the name Jun2354287, and I forgot what the last little thing there at the end of the name is called, but it is there. It's there. The red Protoss here on the middle bottom of the map, and we've got Byul on the name XODQHF here on the blue Terran right next to him. Actually, it is the Pale Blue? Pale Blue. I think this is Pale Blue or Gray Blue. It's somewhere on the spectrum of blue, but Rabbit is also somewhere on the spectrum of blue, so we're going with red versus blue instead of blue against blue. Just blue against blue, a little bit confusing, but red against blue? No, that's clear. That's clear-cut as it can be. Okay. So far, we've seen some really great controlled aware play from Byul. Great micro as well, actually superb micro. Whereas Rabbit has seemed to be a little bit out of shape in this set. He hasn't been playing at his usual peak performance. I've seen him play better than he's played so far in this series, and that is a cause of concern. Last game he was playing with constant amounts of pressure on Byul, but, there's a big but, his production was small, and I think his production being small really hurt him over the long course of the game. It was just too much time in between his attacks because remaxing his army just took too long. The question now, of course, is going to be, is Rabbit gonna fall victim to the same mistake, basically, as last game? Or is he gonna be in better shape? Sometimes players can just turn around and completely reshape themselves from game to game. Now, both players being next to each other is great and it's bad. It's great for Rabbit, because the Rabbit, well, there's a very small little distance for his shuttles to fly over the hill and pressure Byul, but there's also the opportunity for Byul to be very aggressive if Rabbit ever makes a mistake, and Byul feels like he can go for an attack. It's just, there's advantages and disadvantages, and the biggest advantage in this game is, of course, the hill for a Terran, being so close to the minerals here of Rabbit. So what is Rabbit gonna do? Is Rabbit gonna go for his usual drops into Carrier's build order, which would be amazing for this specific setup with these spawn locations, or is he gonna go for something else? I don't know, but I am expecting drops into Carriers, because that is the build order I've seen from Rabbit that just seems to be his strongest build order. Whereas Byul is, I say, much more diverse in what he can do. He's got a great micro. His micro is actually great multitasking as well, and I think his best strength is his ability to find ways to hurt his opponent, even though sometimes it looks like there's no way he can hurt his opponent. He finds ways that aren't easily visible, not easy to find. He will find a way. So far, he's on a single command center. He isn't adding a second one. He's just going for a very fast medic stim firebat because he wants to try to break through the front door. But Rabbit somewhat seems to know what's up because he's got 4 cannons there in the front, 2 still on the way, and some zealots there doing some recon, getting information on just making sure how many of them Marines are there. While here back at home, he's getting Cybercore, double gas, and there's a robotics and a Citadel of Adun there in the front. The Citadel of Adun in the front this early on is kind of a giveaway of his plan to probably go for Dark Templars with speed. That Citadel of Adun is very early, and so is the Templars Archive. We got the information, but Byul doesn't. He's also getting another Templars Archive there in the front. Not sure if I agree with putting them there in the front, because it means there's only 3 cannons. 4 cannons now, but firebats are coming in hot to try to take this all down. Get on top of 1 cannon goes down, but the firebats go down as well. There's a zealot there still on the scene, assisting, and it looks like the Marines and firebats do break into the base by killing the cannons on one side. But they can't actually, they can go in actually. More zealots are on the way there though. Temple's Archive there in the front almost finishing up as well. More firebats and Marines trying to stim their way into the base, and they do find their way in, though they all stay alive. But now we've got Dark Templars on the way, and we don't have Scan because he doesn't have a command center, so now it's going to be a fight whether Rabbit can stop any probe from going down, if he can get those Dark Templars out in time. Cannon there on the side goes down, now goes in deeper, going to try to get another cannon, and then he goes for the probes. Byul made his way into the base because Rabbit made one of his, I'd say, stylistic choices of his SimCity, and it's kind of backfiring, and now that Nexus is under attack, this is turning into a catastrophe. Dark Templars are spawning very soon. Will the Dark Templars be fast enough to take down the Marines? The Marines get taken down in single shots. It does look like he's going to save the Nexus, but that is a very low HP Nexus. I was going to have to go for the counter attack. There's no detection in the front yet. Will the turrets finish on time, or will Rabbit make his way into the base before... Oh, he's not going to go in through the front door. He's going to go in through the side. Do we have any detection on the sides? No, I don't see detection on the sides. I see a scan is on the way there, though, so Byul might be in time. But the Dark Templars are being shuttled over the hill. Turret in the front, still under construction. Templars are landing inside of Byul's base. How is this going to go? Where is this going to go? Dark Templars are splitting up. Oh, they might just be able to get a great return attack there. The scan is a little bit too early. A little bit too early. A little bit too early. One Dark Templar just go down, and now there's a Templar in the backside. Ready to take down the turret. Marines are moving in. Marines are just in time in saving the turret as the Dark Templar has to roll away. But this is keeping Byul on his toes, who's still pretty small with 28 SCVs, whereas Rabbit has 40 probes in total. Rabbit did get hurt, but he didn't actually lose that much minerals or that much mining time. He's actually in a pretty good spot, and Byul's aggression has led to the result that he only has one command center added on there. A lot of barracks is there though, but he's somewhat behind on where he might want to be in terms or in relation to where Rabbit is at the moment. So more Dark Templars landing in the base. Scan energy should be up very soon. Does Rabbit have Reavers? There's double Reaver. He's going for what I believe to be a classic Hamburger Sasu strategy. Dark Templars with Reavers on the low ground, and then the Dark Templars are going to keep the Marines away, protect the Reavers, and the Reavers are going to kill everything they can find. Can he pull it off? Lancer in the base. Turret is on the way. Marines getting hit. Marines coming from the side. Well, Marines coming from the side are actually pretty good. Dark Templars are not doing anything at all. Now the Dark Templars are coming into action. Picks up one Reaver. Shuttle is going to go down soon as well. One Reaver goes down as well. Now there's only 3 Dark Templars left on the scene. Dark Templars flipping back and forth. Can't quite go in. The turret coverage is pretty good. Byul is still on very low supply though, but so is Rabbit, but Rabbit now on 50 probes, whereas Byul is only on 33. Tank there on the side, tank in the front as well, tries to sneak through, takes some shots on the Dark Templars, but they do stay alive. Now they have free hunting here on the left side of the base. Goes into the corner to prevent turrets from coming up in corner. Goes for the starport as well. While here back at home, we've got level 1 attack and speed on the way for Rabbit and double Reaver as well. The shuttles are still alive, and also see 2 Templars queued up, just finishing up with Storm Upgrade finished up as well. So Rabbit is going to start throwing out rapid fire attacks. Got the Wraith on the way there from Byul to help him with defending against the shuttles, to make sure they get taken out of the air as soon as they try to fly in over the hill. Rabbit now also adding cannons to his Nexus to protect his Nexus, because his Nexus is at the moment his main weak point. Byul just has to take it down with a couple of tank shots, and the game is pretty much over. So can Rabbit keep up the pressure? Oh, sorry, I'm hitting my microphone by accident. Shuttle gets taken down. That is actually really bad for Rabbit. I guess that was the low HP shuttle that was microing the Reavers just earlier. Dark Templar also finally gets taken down. Now we are on 84 against 92 supply. There's Dark Templar once again getting into the base, but gets taken down because the scan duration was still active. It sometimes happens that the scan duration is still active on a unit that enters a vision of other units. Okay, Dark Templar, he's coming in with a drop. Storms on the Marines. A lot of Marines there do go down, but he manages to kill the shuttle and takes down the Templar as well, with minimal losses taken. But it's still 66 probes against 46 SCVs, and Rabbit is starting to rev up the engine. He's not going for carriers. I really think carriers would be a great choice here, but he's deciding to go for more gateways, less carriers. I think this is one of the build orders he's a little bit weaker at, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's just going to pull out a completely clean Protoss against Terran game from this point onwards, but so far, I haven't seen him have much luck with this build order, at least in this game specifically. Now, a lot more cannons coming down there in the back. Speed is finished, level 1 attack is finishing very soon as well. He's getting speed for shuttles as well. I thought the speed was already finished up, but he's getting it pretty late. Observatory also, they're on the way. Byul also still now getting dropships because he wants to get units up on the high ground. Actually, he's getting vessels. He's getting vessels. Level 1 attack for Marines. He's also finally getting his armories. He doesn't have them yet. Now 53 SCVs. He's starting to get into a spot where he's pretty big and also getting pretty rich with his income. So only on double gas. This just goes to show you don't need a lot of gas to build an entire base. Although he isn't making that many tanks. Drop comes in for the top side. Reavers on the low ground. Reavers shooting. Reavers killing most of the Marines, but not all of them. One of the Reavers got taken down before it could even unload a Scarab on top of those poor Marines. But the poor Marines do come out on top. Not all of them go down. Could have been a very close call. Could have lost a lot more. If everything there went down in the corner, Byul would have to send in more units to the corner and just be losing units non-stop. There comes a drop from the right side. From the short side, comes in, starts loading. Templars are loading. Doesn't get a storm off on the minerals there though. Snipes the Templar just in time, but lost most of the Marines there on the right side of his base. With more Marines coming from the front to the back to reinforce the right side. Byul is still in the clear, still looking fine, still growing stronger, getting bigger. Added on 2 more gas, science facility there on the side as well. Yeah, Byul is on track to becoming a pretty dangerous force to be reckoned with. Also, we've got a proxy nexus here for carriers that's being prepared there by Rabbit because he needs more gas. Like 4 gas here back at home doesn't cut it. He's adding on a nexus here on the side for 4 gas in total. With those 4 gas, he can afford carriers, but we're already about 11:30 into the match. It's a little bit late for carrier switching because if he goes for a carrier switch, there's a high chance that Byul is going to go for a counterattack. But Rabbit needs carriers, I'm pretty sure of it. Although he does have a lot of zealots here with level 1 attack, level 1 armor and shield both on the way. Scarab damage there also being researched. And a drop there on the top side, ready to go in over the, I would say the weak side. This is definitely the weak side, but Byul there sees the engine bay. As the engine bay sees the shuttles coming in, shuttles get sniped down. And once again, another drop there from Rabbit, not being very successful. That engine bay on the top side really coming in handy. I really think Rabbit has to start contemplating a frontal attack. The front here from Byul is not that strong. And what's inside those bunkers? That's the big question. They are actually mostly empty. One of them has 4 Marines and the other is empty. So there's not that many units there in the front capable of defending, and Rabbit is maxed out more or less. Byul also very close to maxing out, but most of the units are in the back or on the sides. And a couple tanks on the high ground to start the push towards the probes. Rabbit has to make something happen right here, right now. Got a lot of robos, a lot of shuttles, a lot of zealots, and Reavers are also on the way. Although he doesn't have enough shuttles at the moment. So first he has to start making something happen. Byul doesn't have a massive base yet, but he's going to start using that hill, start pushing towards the Nexus, and to start hurting Rabbit where it counts his economy. Can Byul make that happen? So first, Reavers finishing up, shuttles finishing up, and everything is getting picked up for the big, massive drop. Somewhere in the base, either in the backside or on the side here. Well, this side looks a little bit dicey because there's a lot of tanks in the high ground. You can just take everything down. And the tanks now starting to push as well. Got a vessel there as well for detection against Dark Templars, and probably an EMP as well to hit Nexus to take down the shield, because the shield has regenerated quite a bit. Comes in with more tanks. Byul is picking up the pace, rolls in closer, is in range of the Nexus. Nexus is still going to take some shots very soon. Draw comes in. Oh, he's dropping behind the front door. Straight into the base. Marines are coming in hot, but the Reavers are taking down all the Marines from every single direction. Takes down the bunkers in the front. Reavers have been taken down. The Zealots are breaking through. No storms to take down the Marines. And it looks like Byul's just going to hold this. Byul is just going to defend this one pretty easily. Didn't lose the entire front door except for a depot. Ooh, he's losing the Marines as well. The tank splash damage not being too kind to the Marines as they're sacrificing their own. But now the push is happening. Nexus got taken down. Probes are off the minerals. The Zealots are coming in to take down the tanks, but Byul just pushing through with ease. Rabbit's strategy didn't seem to be working out all that well. I think the Dark Templars, while they were built in the mind of defending against the Marines in his base taking out his Nexus, I think he went a little bit too hard on the Dark Templars and should have instead gone for something else. I think his build order choice, the Dark Templar cheesiness, didn't quite work out, or the micro was just not on point here in the corner when he landed in the corner with the Reaver, Dark Templar, and the Shuttle. And now Byul is just running and taking his game straight to the bank. He's got more dropships there prepared with tanks ready to fly across the hill and go for another unload there on top of the probes. The probes are running away to a proxy base. You should honestly consider using this proxy base there for minerals as well. Comes in hot. Fumble attack there on the scene. There's tanks in between the factories ready to defend. Should be easy to defend. There's defensive matrix there as well. Tanks on the scene. Tanks are killing the probes. Probes are dead and gone. The fumble attack there is going haywire. It's going completely wrong. Because shuttles there on the top side, but they get spotted out by the engine base. So that's going to get taken down as well by Marines relocating, or the Valkyries going in, shooting in. Going to take them down. And actually, it's going to be the Marines that are going to try to save the day. But the Marines don't do the trick. Reavers are on the scene. Reavers shooting. Reavers are killing nothing, I guess. Oh, they do kill something, but not a whole lot. Only maybe 5 or 6 SCVs went down. And Rabbit loses game number 9. Game number 8 as well. Just nothing seemed to work for Rabbit. And that's kind of been the theme of this entire set so far. Nothing really seems to work out for him. Everything just seems to be going Byul's way. Rabbit just doesn't seem to be in tip-top shape. I've seen him play better than this, but maybe it's just the fact that Byul is always a step ahead of him. Byul is just perfectly reading the situation, perfectly microing, and his awareness is just superb. And I think his awareness being superb might be because he isn't focusing super hard on having very high APM. He's playing at a somewhat relaxed APM, and I think his relaxed APM opens up his awareness. He's less focused on clicking very fast. He's mostly focused on clicking accurately and doing all the things he has to do. But playing below your maximum APM really does open up that mental capacity or awareness. And I think Byul is probably the player who's best displaying that fact. Opening up mental capacity by taking away some of your APM and channeling that mental strength, that mental capacity into awareness. And it's working out. It's working out for Byul, without a doubt. Also, the fact that he's just a monster at microing just goes to help, of course. So Byul starts out with a proxy hatchery in the choke to wall of his choke. He really doesn't want Rabbit to come in, but Rabbit is going for a mid-gate. Rabbit is going for a mid-gate strategy from a corner spawn, and I am, for one, not really a fan of a corner spawn mid-gate build order. Also using a single probe to scout the map, he's looking for a choke hatchery. He's kind of gambling on it. Doesn't find it. This is basically the laziest scouting you can possibly do. Gets gateway number 3 there in the middle. The benefit of going for this very lazy scouting pattern, though, is that because this probe isn't going all the way into the bases, he only needs 1 probe to build on the middle. Now the second one is moving out. Get, of course, the last couple spawn locations scouted just to be sure. He knows he's not on the bottom middle, otherwise an overlord would have already been spotted somewhere. Or he would have seen a hatchery there in the choke being morphed in. So only a couple spawn locations left, not the top side. He really is expecting a choke hatchery. He isn't wrong, but there's of course a chance that there's not going to be a choke hatchery. So it's kind of gambling. But he finds him here in the end. 3 cells on the way, 1 already finished up, another one there finishing up now as well. Got 1 Zergling on the way there from Byul. A couple of them already finished up, 1 probe here on the scene attacking the Sunken. Sunken taking some heavy damage there from that single Zealot. Zealot number 2 there arriving on the scene. And now we've got 6 Zerglings fighting against a probe and 2 Zealots. The micro there from Rabbit pretty good, but the Sunken there in the front going to finish up for sure. Keeps the Zealot from dying with some great controls. Taps away. Has to go for the Sunken there though. Zealot number 3 and 4 are arriving on the scene. Sunken needs 1 more hit. Sunken needs 1 more hit. Takes it down. 1 Zealot there walking to the backside. Now there's 2 Sunkas to take down with 3 Zealots, and 2 Zerglings there ready to be annoying. He goes for the Zealot, he can't quite get them. Zealot in the back got taken down. There's 2 low HP Zealots walking in, getting surrounded by Zerglings. Zerglings are on the chase, splits up the Zealots there beautifully though. Tries to get in. Zerglings are doing a great job walling off those Zealots. Now tries to go in with the other one. Other one arrives on the scene. It's getting blocked really well. The micro and control here from Byul is actually, once again, without mistake. Although, I might have called too early. Oh, he walls it off. Wow. Pro level micro is actually just a little bit too strong. Specifically for a player like Rabbit who isn't as gifted in the micro department. Rabbit mostly has build orders and planning. And sometimes the micro is just not working out in his favor. Because he just isn't, as I said, he isn't as good at it as Byul is. And I think we're really seeing the difference in micro skill right here on display. But this game is still in Rabbit's favor. Byul spent like, I don't know, 400 minerals on Zerglings, lost a lot of them as well, but slowed down, only has 1 hatchery there. It added to the backside, so 3 hatcheries in total at 4:30 into the game. That's a little bit behind on schedule. 23 probes against 14 drones. Rabbit himself is going for just a single Nexus build order. Going for very fast Cybercore, double Robo. Getting cannons there as well to protect the Robo. He's still producing Zealots. This looks like he's going to go for a Citadel of a Dune as well at some point. But first we're just going to have Zealots and double Reaver going to try to push through the front door. That looks like the recipe for now. I have 1 attack also on the way. I did mention the Citadel of a Doom, but he can't afford it. He also wouldn't be able to afford Zealot speed. Goes in for the attack though, wants to take down some of those Sunkens before they come up and become operational. And I think this is just enough Zealots to take everything down. Well, he's not going to try to take everything down, he's just going to walk in and go straight for the backside, where now 2 Sunkens are morphing, although they're still creep colonies. And this is a recipe for disaster. A lot of Zerglings are in the queue, but Rabbit arrives on the scene, gonna go straight for them drones, ignoring the creeps, ignoring the Sunkens, gonna kill everything he can. I think maybe going for the Sunkens might have been a better choice here. Because he's killing a lot of stuff, he's killing a lot of drones, killing a lot of Zerglings, but I think his Zealots mostly got blocked out and clipped into by the drones. So I think he could have done more damage going for the Sunkens and then just killing everything with the Zealots. Just no matter what, you kill it. So great Aspire on the way there, or well, a regular Spire on the way there for Byul. Rabbit has lost most of his Zealots, but he has Reavers on the way. But if Byul gets to finish his Mutalisks, those Reavers are not going to be of great concern. So it feels like it's time for some... Oh, he's killing some supplies so he can queue up Reavers. I see what he's doing here. He forgot to build his pylons in time. So 2 Reavers queued up. Dragoon range is on the way, so yes, he's going to transition into Dragoons to assist and help those Reavers, because he saw Byul's build order there in the back. He knows that a Spire is on the way, so he has to get them Dragoons out really quick if he wants those Reavers to not get taken down on the frontal push. Another Sunken there coming out in the front. We got 2 more hatcheries on the way in the back. Byul is keeping his larva unused because he wants to build as many Mutalisks as he can the moment the larva finish. I think he picked up some Zealots to land them inside of Byul's base to start attacking the Sunkens there in the back, just to distract, or maybe there's a Reaver inside. There's 1 Reaver inside. Reaver's on the scene. Reaver can't shoot. Reaver unloads again. Reaver shoots on the drones. Drones all get taken down. Only 6 of them left alive. That ended about as badly as it could for Byul. Do have scores there on the scene. Mutas are finished up as well. Takes down 1 more drone. Can the Mutalisks make a significant change at this point, or is this game kind of just over? Kind of looks like the game is just over. So goes in for the attack. Gonna try to take something down, but the Mutas there, they don't want any of this. They don't want any of that. Going straight for the probe there on the middle that's building a base. Going to try to take down the pylon there in the middle as well, but we've got Dragoons on the way and Byul sees them. Byul calls GG and that game goes towards Rabbit. That game just went really well for Rabbit. Just one simple Reaver shuttle drop and Rabbit takes the cake. So let's give him one more win, score 6-3, and now we're going to game number 10. Rabbit might be on the comeback, he might not be. But he's making some, I'd say, really risky gambling choices, in my opinion, over the last couple of games. And they haven't always worked out, but last game, I'd say, kind of did work out. His Reaver Shuttle came out just in time. His Zealots themselves didn't do that much damage. I think he should have just tried to take down all the Sunguns in the front instead of trying to go into the backside, or he didn't achieve all that much. But Rabbit is a better player than I am, but being a better player doesn't always mean you make the correct choices. But I do think he had a plan in mind, and he stuck to the plan, and the plan worked out. That's what matters, and cross-map situations are, in my opinion, quite difficult to play because of the amount of distance between your opponent and you. Your attacks are just always gonna be slower than you'd want them to be. That's why the proxy in the middle is so important for Protoss when you're playing a cross-map situation, because you just reduce the amount of distance. It makes attacking really easy, as long as you can multitask two separate locations of building and construction at the same time without losing any time or inputs. This time around, we've got Byul on the Protoss going for what looks to be a Dragoon build order, otherwise you wouldn't be going for a Pylon and gas on 8-9 supply. It's pretty much the only build order that specifically starts out like this, because all the other build orders, like Festar Templars, doing this build order are a little bit too risky and too easy to defeat. It has to be, and don't quote me on this one, I might be wrong, but this most likely is a fast Dragoon build order. Most likely fast Dragoons. Will Rabbit be able to handle himself against the fast Dragoons from Byul, who has absolutely amazing micro? Or will Rabbit's brain play, his planning and his control and his innate instinct of usually finding ways to survive help him out against the Dragoon build order? It also kind of comes down to whether Rabbit scouts Byul in time or not. Because if he scouts Byul before Byul has any of those Dragoons out, there's a realistic chance Rabbit can start hurting those probes and start hurting Byul's economy, or he can even defend himself. But if the Dragoons come out before Rabbit finds him, then it's going to be kind of a game where it all comes down to control in the early game. And also, can Rabbit get those bunkers up in the front in time? It looks like he's going to find him though. He finds him on basically the second attempt, sees the triple gateway, sees the gas in the back, sees the cyber core, which hasn't finished yet, which now means we might see a couple of Marines walking across the map into Byul's base, ready to snack on those probes that are not able to protect themselves. Dragoons are queued up, no Dragoon range there though, but the Dragoons are queued up, and the Dragoons are about 25% in their warping procedure. And the Marines do some damage. Is Rabbit going to build bunkers in his choke? So 2 probes there keep 1 Marine away. Now we've got 3 probes ready to fight back against the Marines. The probes get us around on 1 Marine. Marine there going to go down, but first goes 1 probe. There's 2 probes have gone down. 3 probes have gone down in total. Is he going to get number 4? Tries to get number 4, but number 4 runs away just in time, and the Dragoon takes out the Marine there at the end. And that is basically an acceptable amount of resources lost for Byul. And now it's going to be a question whether Rabbit can get his academy under range and bunkers up in the front in time, and does he even have enough units? He went for a command center in the meantime. I think that's a very risky call, but it might have a huge payoff if he manages to defend this well enough. Also, Byul didn't find Rabbit until just now, so while the Dragoons might have been there earlier, they're arriving a little bit late. And we've got range on the way now for Rabbit for the bunkers, so it looks like Byul will have a very short time frame of being able to attack those bunkers with his Dragoons. After that very short time frame, it will appear that Rabbit is going to be fine for now. So So he's going to get the payoff from a +1 command center in the back. He will have the payoff. He will have bigger economy than Byul, but Byul will have some seriously fearsome fighting power. He's setting up his Dragoons, moving forward tiny little amounts, preparing himself for the attack. Rabbit is responding very well by pulling out a lot of his SCVs to repair the bunkers and buy time against the Dragoons, because now the Dragoons can fire from outside the bunker range on the bunkers, and Rabbit has to repair them until range finishes for the Marines. And once range has finished for the Marines, he tries to go in. Repair takes down the bunker, but Marine range is very close to finishing up. He's going to try to take down bunker number 2 as well. He gets on top of the bunker. Bunker's getting repaired, but the bunker might go down. Bunker goes down. There's medics and... oh, the situation there not going too well for Rabbit, who's now pulling back his Marines. Bunkers are on the way. Doesn't have stim, only has range. More... oh. Gets the bunker finished just in time. Kills a couple more SCVs. Okay, Byul did more damage than he should have been able to, because Rabbit wasn't repairing his bunkers all that well. Byul was just target focusing on a single bunker, doing a lot of damage. This time around the bunker does stay alive though, with all of the SCVs repairing it. But he does kill most of the Marines, and most of the SCVs that were there in the front, even more, got pulled to the front. So now Rabbit is losing income from not having so many SCVs that should be on the minerals not being on the minerals. He will try to wall off this portion there on the side so the Dragoons can't walk into the base. He really wants to cover his entire front with bunkers so that the Dragoons can't get in. Once again, bunker, they're getting attacked. Bunker goes down. Now he has to retreat to another bunker. Byul tries to scoot forward, but the bunker's finishing up on the corner just in time. Marines have relocated to new bunkers. Byul is controlling this really well, but Rabbit is also kind of mishandling the situation to a degree, but he's handling himself well enough. But more money is being sunk into protecting the front than there should be. It's costing him more money than it should cost him. And Byul went for another Nexus there in the back, getting a third one as well. Dragoons are still coming out. He didn't go for the famous 458 Dragoon into Reaver proxy, where 458 would then build his Reavers here right in the front and just crawl forward, completely ignore the shuttles and crawl forward and take down the bunkers with Reavers. But Byul is going for an economy option instead. He's satisfied and happy with what he has achieved with his Dragoons. And Rabbit is probably not feeling too well about the situation. Rabbit was really struggling with keeping his choke alive. It stayed alive, but he really had to fight for it. Also, fun little detail here from Rabbit. He's spacing his turrets out a little bit from the side, so that shuttles flying across the hillside cannot see the turrets. Sometimes players will fly on top of the hill to determine where the weak point is in the line of turrets. But if you place them a little bit further away, he's going to be fine. Also, he's doing this with keeping in mind that Byul has the option of placing either cannons or Dragoons along the hillside, and they would then be able to fire on turrets that would be placed against the hill. So this placement of turrets, there's a lot more behind it than would appear. Like there's 3 or 4 different reasons why he's placing them a little bit further away, and why he's doing that on either side. Although this side is a little bit less important, because Dragoons cannot shoot over the hill and neither can cannons on this side, but they can on these vertical sides. So the front is being built a little bit stronger. Dragoons have pulled away to their home, where they're now expecting tank drops. So this is now his tank drop defense. Got triple row over there in the front. Reavers are going to be on the way very soon as well, and there's a Tempest Archive being warped in there on the bottom side. Shuttle speed is on the way, armor is on the way for both air and ground, and got Zealot speed also being researched. As Rabbit is very close to finishing up his level 1 attack, getting factories, getting starports, getting more command centers, and getting more supply space. Also, a pretty early armory for probably upgrades for his ground units, but there's also the option he's going to go for air upgrades to help him with taking down those shuttles. And here he is placing Dragoons on the high ground. Most likely, he's not moving forward with them. Sometimes players move forward with them to take down turrets from on top of the hill. He's moved forward. He's going to take down structures from on top of the hill. Tank is there though. Tank going to try to take down the Dragoons, but Dragoons are just moving forward to the top side. And yeah, it looks like these turrets are within range of those Dragoons. So looks like he's going to use the hills that are usually used to the advantage of a Terran to the advantage of a Protoss by taking down the static defense on the sides and hoping to make it a little bit easier to get into the base. Also, here the cannons that I mentioned earlier, he built the cannons against the hill, meaning Rabbit cannot build turrets here, he has to build them one space further away. And the drops are coming in from the bottom side, while Rabbit is focused on the top side. Classic little scenario in case of misdirection. Rabbit is also building bunkers on the sides to protect the sides and keep them alive if units are unloaded on the bottom side. Just the bunker is pretty strong against units being unloaded. Dragoons on the hill can take it down as well. So they did do something, but not a whole lot. Now Rabbit is finally reaping the benefits of having so many command centers. He's on 60 SCVs against 63 probes from Byul. He's also got triple armory. I think level 1 attack for his tanks, level 1 attack for Marines is finished up. Engine Bay has been lifted up. He didn't go in with a drop. He wants to go for a very strong drop instead of throwing a drop into Rabbit's base that isn't going to succeed. So 4 robos. Then we've got air armor almost finished up. What? That's air weapons on the way. The ground units currently have level 1 attack, level 1 armor, not attack. He's got all the ground armor upgrades on the way though. He's got armor, that's shield, weapon, and armor for ground on the way. Getting more gateways now as well. Still only has 1 cannon. He's got vision of everything leaving Rabbit's base, so he's not gonna get caught out by surprise by some dropships flying across the map, ready to storm, or well, tanks don't storm, to take down probes with a tank shot. A couple cannons are in the front just to make sure he's got a small little buffer. Looks like he's going for a top left drop instead of a bottom right drop. There's bunkers, Marines, a lot of bunkers in the back as well. Rabbit has vision of a gas there with the engineering base who can dodge to that gas. Comes in, shuttles are stacking top of each other, drop comes in, Rabbit not responding. Oh dear god, Rabbit didn't respond to that one. Now there's Reavers everywhere, Templars as well, he's still not responding. He responds so late! He responds so late! That was terrible! Oh no, Rabbit. Oh no, Rabbit, you lost like 40 SCVs, now losing all the Marines and gonna lose the command center as well. He's having a really tough time. That Templar in the backside completely wreaking havoc. Oh no, that one terrible. He was doing so well until now, but just like 5 seconds of not paying attention and he's completely getting destroyed, getting murked. Lost a lot of supply, and that's in a single drop, the game is over. Oh boy, Rabbit. Rabbit. Usually you are so aware of what's happening around you, but this time you just completely missed a drop flying in until it was already unloaded on top of your SCVs, and only then did you notice it was there. That honestly is about as terrible as it could have gone. It couldn't have gone more terrible than that. So Byul wins the, I assume, best of 13. I assume it was a best of 13. With 7 wins against 3 wins from Rabbit. So that's a pretty dominating performance. He won a Terran against Protoss, won a Zerg against Protoss. He just won a lot of games against Protoss. And he also won a PvP. So Byul really showed himself to actually just be, I think and believe, to be the superior player to Rabbit. Although Rabbit also had a particularly weak showing this series. I think he underperformed without a doubt. In conclusion, I kind of want to see them go at it again and see how another best of 13 or best of 7 or whatever best of you want, how that is going to turn out and who's going to be the victor of that set. Because things can happen. You can win 2 sets in a row and then lose 5 of them in a row. A lot can happen. Everyone can kind of beat everyone. Until a certain level, of course. So yeah, that's it for today. Was the conclusion to Rabbit against Byul. And I hope you return next time when I make another video, and I'm probably gonna do another amazing set. Maybe a little bit of a shorter set. This set had a lot of games. I think there was about 10 games in total for this set so far. That's a lot of games. I might go for a little bit of a shorter set. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you come back next time. I already said that before, and have a good day. It was RGB for RGB TV. I'm tuning out.